Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Vande Guru Paramparam Vande Guru Paramparam. We were on third verse, isn't it? Ushama?
Swamiji, second is finished.
Second is concluded. So we saw in the second verse that how the supreme reality, the absolute truth, the pure consciousness is the source of everything. It is the substratum of everything. It is the heart of everything. And without it, nothing can function in this creation. And what is that creation? Urdhva Shaka, the upside down tree that was told before. And in this way, and this entire game which is going on, the game of space-time objectivity, and it's a play, it's a Leela. That's why we say Rama Leela, Krishna Leela. It is the conscious Leela going on. It's in your life also it is going on. Every day, waking, dream, deep sleep, new experiences, new interactions, new circumstances, new emotions, and it goes on. There's no stop. But all this change in you or in the total world, you being a part of the world, cannot happen without that pure consciousness, the truth. And this was told in the previous verse. The verse being, Yadidam kincha jagat sarvam prana ejati nisrutam mahad bhayam vajramudyatam ya etad viduramrutaste bhavanti. Yadidam kincha jagat sarvam. The whole universe has come out of that one reality. Prana ejati nisrutam. Prana, last time I gave you all the details. Prana is another name for Brahman, or it can be that the whole world is maintained by the cosmic air, which is without which life, as we know, that there is no air, there is death. Our attention doesn't go to the consciousness. And yet, we have Jnaneshwar Maharaj. We are studying the Bhagavad Gita as well as the Amrit Anubhav. 760, 70 years now. He is still living 40 feet under the ground till today. Sanjeevani Samadhi. So all those possibilities are there. We have in Kali Yuga, in this particular time, which is the period of gross manifestations, gross experiences, all these finer things, this fantastic people, we come across them here and now, but they were in plenty before. So they knew that not the breath, but the consciousness is the basis of everything. And therefore, Mahat Bhayam, and what also they knew, Mahat Bhayam Vajram Udyatam. So, Mahat Bhayam, it is the great fear, it is the great terror, because of whose fear and all the five elements, all the gods, all the beings, all the planets, all the suns, all the galaxies function perfectly without a break. They dare not say, today is my day off. No way. They have to go on and on and on and on and on. You have the freedom. I was so tired this whole week. I'm going to sleep in tomorrow because it is a Saturday. Day after tomorrow, it is a Saturday. No, day to day after tomorrow is a Saturday. Sun cannot say that. The earth cannot say that. The planets cannot say that. The galaxies cannot say that. The gods cannot say that. Your body doesn't say that. Your mind doesn't say that. Because mind is going through thoughts or no thoughts. The game is going on for it. Incessantly, without stopping. Why they function in this manner perfectly? Because of the fear of that supreme reality. Last week I told you the story of Upanishad. And then Vajramudyatam. And how is he a great terror? Like that thunderbolt. Thunderbolt is like the crackling in the sky, the lightning in the sky. That's the thunderbolt. And we explained all this last week. Go and listen again. And like the thunderbolt. And those wise people, or those who know it so, those who know the source to be so, they are the wise ones. And they are, here it says, Ya etad viduhu, viduhu means the wise ones. Ya etad viduhu amrutaste bhavanti, and those who know it, they are the wise ones, and they attain to immortality. Continuing in the third verse today, Bhayad asyagnis tapati, bhayat tapati suryaha, bhayat tapati suryaha, bhayad indrascha vayuscha, mrityurdhavati panchamaha. Together, Bhayad asyagnis tapati, bhayat tapati suryaha, bhayad indrascha vayuscha, mrityurdhavati panchamaha. So here again the terror aspect of the Brahman. Just like the sun doesn't say, I will burn you with my heat, I will blind you with my light. Sun doesn't say that. It is its nature. Isn't it? Sun doesn't say, hey, you planet, you have to listen to me what I am doing. You have to go around me in this particular elliptical orbit. You cannot go this way or that way. Sun is not saying like that. See? By nature it is like that, isn't it? Only the ego says like this. I is seeing. Seeing is happening anyway. I come say, I am seeing. Abhe, बेवकूफ है क्या? So similarly, when the sun takes on a personality as a sun god, then we see these type of dialogues. But as long as he is surrendered to the divine, then it is fine. Then he doesn't speak in that manner. Then everything is functioning the way it has to function by the will of the divine, not by your individual will. You may feel, the sun may feel, oh, because of me, all the planets are behaving themselves. Hey, because of whom are you behaving? Hey, look inside a little bit. See? So here he says that for the fear of that reality, the same, it's a continuation from the previous verse, that this Parameshwara, this truth, uh, uh, because of its fear, the fire burns, the sun burns, and by his fear, the gods, the Indra, the Vayu, the wind, the god of the mind or the god of the heavens, Vayu, the god, the cosmic airs, not only the earthly air, cosmic air. Part of that cosmic air is the earthly air. So cosmic air and all. And the fifth one here told is that the Lord of Death. The death is also functioning. They maintain their disposition. They don't go to sleep, and they are not over enthusiastic also. If sun gets over enthusiastic, we get sunspots. If the Lord of Death becomes, if the Vayu becomes over enthusiastic, we get hurricanes and storms and whatnot. If the Lord of Death gets over enthusiastic, what will happen? You think? Very quickly, he will call us. aa gaya tera time. I forgot you. So all of them are functioning only because. So why 5? There was Agni, there was Surya, there was Indra, there was Vayu, and there was Mrityu, the death. These 5: fire, sun, the Lord of the heaven, and the wind, and the Lord of death. These 5. In other words, are these the only gods? No, there are many more. All of them. And what is gods anyway? For our Vedantic or from philosophical point of view, all gods, the sun god is the potentiality in the sun. The wind god, the form that you see, is the potentiality within the wind, the cosmic airs. The Varuna Devata, the water god, he is the potentiality within in the waters. So different potentialities. So what is mother? It is the potentiality in a woman. What is wife? It is another potentiality in the woman. Is all the potentialities put together equal to the woman or man? It's not a trick question. Are all the potentialities put together equal to the man or woman?
No, Swamiji, more than that.
What is that? Overthinking. It should be like this. You came to the right word. Consciousness.
Consciousness.
Without consciousness, the potentialities also cannot function. Isn't it? So all the attributes of the sun, all the capabilities, abilities of the sun, all the light of the sun, the form of the sun, all that is possible only because there is a truth behind. This is that bhaya, the terrible one. Terrible one is, the word terrible one is not said to put it down, to put it down, but to show that everything in this universe is functioning perfectly. There must be some guiding principle. There must be someone. That reality is not only the one who desired, let me be many. He not only willed the creation out of himself, who the truth, the absolute reality, it not only willed, desired the creation, not only it used itself as the material for the total creation. When we stop here, then भगवान मेरे ऊपर थोड़ी दया करना, भगवान मेरी इच्छाएं पूरी करना, oh God, please fulfill my desires, God, please get me this job, God, get me married to this one or that one. When you stop here, what else is he? Not only is the desire, he desired to be many, not only willed it, he even had the capability to be many, and also to govern it. So he himself has become many, and because he is the dharma, he is the righteousness, he is the one without a second, he is the essence. He is also the governor and the controller of everything that he has created. How does he do it? Go and find out. Why should I tell you everything? So he governs it also and controls it also. So everyone is behaving. Remember this example. You can see this when you look out, you can see it. But a more immediate example, a mother magnet and all the iron filings. Mother magnet is not going, hey, please turn towards me. Mother magnet is also iron. All the iron filings are also iron. But the moment they come into its magnetic field, all of them start behaving properly. Unidirectional. See? When all your thoughts become unidirectional towards the divine, हो गया काम, काम खत्म. Very quickly, the quality of the magnet is imbibed by all the iron filings. Very quickly, your mind gets divinized. Anyway, but that's not the point here. Point here is that everything is under the control and governance of that absolute truth. How does he do it? Without doing anything. Like we saw in some verses before, that without moving, it moves everywhere. Without doing, it does everything. It came no before, in the previous chapter or the one before that. See. So here he says, the Bhashya says, Bhayat bhitya parameshwarasya agnihi tapati bhayat tapati suryo bhayat indrascha vayuscha mrityurdhavati panchama. By the fear of this Paramatma, by the fear of this great divine truth, the fire burns. By the fear of this divine truth, the sun burns, is illuminating and burning. And also by his fear, the Indra, he is the lord of the mind. One level is at the subtle world, he is the lord of the heavens. Heaven is only in your, heaven and hell are only two concepts of your mind. So he is the lord of your mind. And the other, at a gross level, he is the lord of your hands. He is the potentiality which functions through your hands. And also the Vayu, the fourth one, Vayu is the cosmic airs, and the fifth one is the death, which keeps moving, keeps running. All of them are running. Sun is rotating. Well, you may say, I don't see the sun rotating. But I think I told last week only, I told that the sun is moving through space at the speed of light. The space that you look up, it's expanding at the speed of light. Unbelievable speed. And you think in that continuously expanding space, sun is going to be in its own place. No, you expand. No, it is going to get affected. Every galaxy, every planet, every sun, everything is going to be affected. They are all moving at a terrible speed. And with that, all the planets are also moving. We don't realize it. See? Because you're moving too fast, you have to slow down in your mind to access all this information. So that it reveals to you. If you put your focused mind towards this, it will reveal to you. Problem is our unfocused mind. Not focus on all this, focus on Brahman. And sometimes all these questions are there. Sometimes the mind goes there, oh, beautiful. Come back to Brahman, don't stay there. Be the Brahman. Continuing, nahi ishwaranam lokapalanam samarthanam satam niyanta ched vajra udyata karavan na syat swami bhayabhitana meva bhrutyanam niyata pravritti rupa padyate. So among all the capable ones, here it is told, nahi indeed Ishwaranam Lokapalanam Samarthanam. Samarthanam means those who have capability. Lokapalanam, there are gods for the 8 directions, there are gods for the various airs. Where that cosmic air divides itself into various airs to subsist life here. There are Adityas. See? So all these various Lokapalas, various for each. So put at it in a different way. What are the Lokas? The positive good ones. Bhur, Bhuva, Swa, Tapa, Jana, Maha, Satyam. Correct? So each plane of existence has its own boss, king, the governor. Just like each country has a prime minister. Each country prime minister, how many continents? 7 continents. Suppose there, apart from the countries, there was one chief of all the continents. Each continent had one chief. And all the 7 continents had one chief above them. So Lokpalas are the kshetra. Lok means the plane of existence, the area. Take it as the Kundalini, take it as the planes of existences. All these Lokpalas. And who are these Lokpalas? They are capable. They are capable. Each one is capable and maintaining his realm properly. Each one. And here it says that, and among them the greatest one is Indra. And so Indra. So who is the Lokpal of the eyes? Who is the Lokpal of the ears? Who is the boss of the tongue? Who is the boss of the nose? Who is the boss of the feet? Who is the boss of the hands? Etc. etc. So the different organs are there, different senses are there. But if Indra, the lord of the mind, is not there, all these fellows cannot function, isn't it? Correctly. if the mind is topsy-turvy and after liquid spirituality, then all these fellows who were perfectly functioning before, suddenly they can't see clearly, they can't smell clearly, they can't walk properly, they can't hold properly. They start losing the strength. Why? It was never theirs in the first place. It was coming from behind. See? So among all these planes of existence, the great one is the Indra, and he is and to keep them in check, to keep them functioning in perfect order, you need a good prime minister, you need a good leader who can take them along with him, but at the same time give them the freedom to function. But they cannot do what they want. They have to do what their job description is. So eyes continue to see, nose continues to smell, tongue continues to taste, ears continue to hear, feet, no, I'm tired of being down, I want to be up. It cannot happen. So everyone is functioning, because if someone doesn't function, he's got the thunderbolt. He puts the. It's like a hunter, hunter ही बोलते हैं ना चाबुक को. It's like a whip, not hunter. It's like a whip. Thunderbolt is like a whip. It will send one. Get into. Just like the horses, how do you make them maintain the speed, keep in one direction? You got the charioteer has a whip. It's to correct them, it's to prod them. And if one out of the horses, if it's Arjuna's horse and if there are 5 horses there and one of them is not behaving properly, attack! Get in line. On one hand there is a rein, the other is the whip. That whip is the thunderbolt. So here he says, among them is like the Indra. If there was no Indra to keep them in control, was not there in control, then they would not have developed themselves properly in their place, wherever they are. Taste is one thing. Taste is good. Human being was born with the 5 senses, so taste is there. Eyes are there, ears are there, mouth is there. But those 5 senses and the mind, when they have functioned in a disciplined way, then the tongue, I don't care what I eat, everything is okay. You put salt, it's okay. If no salt, okay. Lemon, okay. No lemon, okay. Pathetic. You don't even like to cook for such a person. But someone says, oh, मजा आ गया आज इडली सांभर का. The person who's feeding you gets inspired. कि मजा आ गया. Someone is appreciating. Not just eating meat. Not just eating raw vegetables. So what is, just like one reality has become many, one tongue has created so many tastes. They were not there before. It found all the herbs, it found all the ingredients, it discovered, explored. If you mix this, if you mix that, so it enjoys. So one tongue, it was happy by itself many thousands of years ago. But if you come to India, every 50 kilometers the taste changes. The dish remains the same, maybe called also the same, but the taste changes. That's exactly how this capacity of one, because we have a tongue, we have developed such a fantastic culture of so many tastes from north to south. Every 50, 100 kilometers, new dishes are coming, and unbelievable. Unbelievable. Not only fried rice and noodles, not only meat and sauteed vegetables. Idli sambar, dosa chutney, aloo paratha, chicken curry, vegetable korma, so many, and every hundreds of dishes are there, and every one of them is tasting differently, isn't it? Would it have been possible to develop this variety without the tongue? See? This is growth, whether you like it or not. This is maturity of a culture. Maturity of a culture is, the more the variety, the greater the culture. Therefore, we don't stop with dishes. Our gods are also many. More the gods, greater the culture. Because choose whichever you want. Don't impose one on everyone. There's no imposition. Therefore, there's no fear of conversion. Hindus don't go around converting anyone. Think. The truth doesn't go around saying, hey, you have to become truth. You have to be the truth. It knows. He gives you the freedom. You choose. And what will determine your growth? Your knowledge, and that knowledge reflecting in action. That will determine your growth. So work towards it. And knowledge comes only if your mind is focused. Without focused mind, knowledge will not come. Having thoughts is not equal to knowledge. Disciplining the thoughts brings knowledge. Indisciplined thoughts is depression. Further, schizophrenia. Further, suicide. Discipline. Why is the discipline? Why? How come everything is functioning in order? Because of that one truth. Why is everything functioning here in your body in order? If your mind is God oriented, the divine oriented, then everything will function the way they are supposed to function. Ego can never make anything function properly. It can only create disease. Because ego means living at desire prompted activities. Ego means functioning only based on memories. They are not perfect. And that imperfection brings about all the diseases. See, it's not written here. I'm telling you all this is just coming out. But there's so much truth in it. Every youngster must fall into this knowledge, realize himself, and then live life. But we think making money is the first thing, and then God realization or self realization, we leave it for retirement. But in retirement, your body is not as strong to handle. Handle the advent of the divinity. The divinity, gone. सोचो जरा, think. So only when they listen to a higher order, higher person, their growth is possible. Only if I listen to my teacher, my unfoldment will happen properly. When he is around, I'll behave in a correct manner. I'll function in a correct manner. I'll be alert. I'll be vigilant more than when he's not there. But truth is such which is always. So our growth is possible, our unfoldment is possible, our maturity is possible, our union is possible from individuality into the infinite. All this is possible only if we are disciplined. And we will be disciplined only when sometimes, last week we touched this topic, and why sometimes, many times, most of the times, it's only fear which makes us remain in disciplined order, isn't it? Why do I stop at the red light, not go through? I'm afraid of the bill, fine that will come. The moment I see a police car, immediately I check my speed is correct or not. I'm in the correct lane or not. Fear of, that's why I'm disciplined. How much time will we live in fear of someone? These are all external sources of thinking of which you fall into discipline. You may want to be free, but you can't. You cannot be free of the government. You cannot be free of the police. You cannot be free of the world order at this moment. You want to be, but you can't. And sometimes towards this type of order, which is artificial, there is resentment. But what will you do with that resentment? Still you have to function. You have to still live in fear. You have to still listen, follow the rules, or face the consequences. So what are the consequences if we don't live a disciplined manner, thinking of the great fear, the pure consciousness? Birth, rebirth, birth, rebirth, birth, rebirth. If you become disciplined at every given moment, if we are aware that there is a Lord or there is a truth who's ever watching every action and every thought of ours, therefore we don't think wrong thoughts. We may not be doing wrong deeds, but because nobody can have access into our mind, we have fanciful imaginations, we have uncontrolled thoughts that nobody is watching. I can go on an imaginary spree. But if we become aware that there is this truth, this pure consciousness is ever, I'll discipline my thoughts. I'll not function in a carefree way, careless way, not carefree. Carefree we should be, careless we should not be. not in a careless way. And if I discipline myself that someone is always watching me, forget about government or forget about police or whatever, there is this some inner controller who is there. There is this infinite consciousness which is there, which is my essence. And if I want freedom from birth and death cycle, no more reincarnation, then I need to change my approach to life. Then I need to be disciplined and I need to be aware and disciplined to about what? Control your senses, control your mind, focused on the truth. Think in this manner as it is given. And come to realize that you are that infinite consciousness. That there is nothing called as individuality. This is what the wise people have realized. Continuing. Page 151. 152. Same topic is coming. What is that? Without the knowledge of the divine, you will fall into cyclical birth and death cycle. This is the topic now. Tacha, and now he says, iha chet shakat bodhum praksharirasya visrasaha tatah sargeshu lokeshu sharirattvaya kalpate. Together, iha ched ashakat bodhum praksharirasya visrasaha tatah sargeshu lokeshu sharirattvaya kalpate. We have mentioned this many times before, but here this is the verse. I can't remember verses when I'm speaking something. So here the verse is there. What is that? Iha chet shakat bodhum prak sharirasya visrasaha. He says, if while you are in this body, and before this body dies, this body has come into existence, it will go out of existence. Its expiry date is already there. You don't know it. Many masters know it. So if we are in this body and this body has an expiry date, it says, and before the expiry date, we must make an attempt to come to know that we are the divinity itself. We are of the nature of divinity itself. We are of the nature of pure consciousness itself. We are of the nature of the absolute truth itself. When? Not after death, not posthumously. That's why in India you have living saints. And there is no person to declare he is a saint or he is not a saint. There is no doubt in the minds of the people, those who come in contact with such a person, because of his extraordinary peace, contentment, quietude, powers. He may not be exhibiting them, but people experience a shift in their consciousness when they come into his presence. or her presence. And that possibility is in you and me also. We are not dead yet. So what is he saying? If you are in the body and this body you know is going to die one day, is going to go out of existence, before it goes out of existence, he says, if you can come to know the truth, that is the greatest thing you can do in this life. Otherwise, tata sargeshu lokeshu shariratwaya kalpate. Then if you don't come to know yourself, then what will happen? Here it says, you will go from one plane of existence to the other, depending upon what was the last thought at the time of death. If the last thought was meow, next birth meow. If the last thought was, what will happen to my Rocky? Next birth, Rocky. If you are breathing your last and you see a lizard on the wall up above your eyes, oh, lizard, gone. Last breath. That was the shock you needed to leave the body. Next birth, a four-legged lizard wriggling around on the walls, helping others to leave their body in fear. See? So because we have not come to the realization that we are of the nature of infinite reality, infinite pure consciousness, continuously existing, all-knowing, ever happy, that is Satchidanand Swarup, that is my true nature. My true nature is not the ego. My true nature is not the individuality. My true nature is not that I am functioning through this body. That is a temporary one. When I consider myself as this body, I have reduced myself, me who essentially is infinite. When I take this body to be my identity, I have reduced myself to the level of this body. That is not my nature. Consciousness by nature is infinite. Just like sun by nature is light. No darkness can come by. Similarly, consciousness by nature is infinite, all-knowing, ever-existing, ever-happy. That I am. That I am. This has to be realized while living. This has to be realized while living. Therefore, satsang is important. Therefore, these talks are important. You're reminded again and again. And while you're listening, you're eating your food. Then you will come out as a celery in your next life. And we will pluck it and eat it. If you can't sit for 1.5 hours without water, without drink, without food, then you don't deserve to know the truth. I don't want to say that. But such a mind cannot realize. Because too many distractions. That eagerness is not there. If the eagerness is there, you will forget everything. Hunger, thirst, relationships, past, present, future, everything will be forgotten. And you will be 110% available. To whom? not to the top.
Alert from Google
You,
password
you will
required.
be available to yourself, the consciousness.
Alert from Yahoo.
And then why you come to the satsang? Because here the words trigger you to that. It's not a part-time business. For a part-time fellow, no success is possible. It has to be full-time. In spite of what is happening in your life, you have to find a way how to remain in tune with that infinite, in spite of work, in spite of family, in spite of cooking, in spite of cleaning, in spite of waking, dreaming and sleeping, in spite of past and future, in spite of doing or not doing, in spite of everything. You have to find a way. We have given you hundreds of ways, but you have to decide. The penny has to drop for you. Each one of us. Because each one of us is unique. At individual level, we are all unique. What worked for me may not work for you. What worked for you may not work for you. Whatever we have said may be a synthesis of that. Something will click if you are focused. If you are yearning for it. If you are thirsty to be the truth. It's not for the faint-hearted one. Eating salad and listening to satsang. Forget it. Socho. Let's continue with the Sanskrit Bhashya. Iha जीवनन एव चेद अद्य शक्नोति शक्तः संजनात्येत अद्भय कारणं ब्रह्म बोद्धुम अवगंतुम प्राक्पूर्वं शरीरस्य विस्रसः अवसंसरणात् पतनात् संसारबन्धनात् विमुच्यते. If in this body, meaning while we are living, before this body dies, the seeker, the seeker comes to realize the reality, like whom? Like the sun. Sun has all the knowledge. I told you last week, you focus on the sun, all knowledge of this universe will come to you. All the knowledge of all the gods will come to you. All the principles that you know and you don't know, they will be at your fingertips. See, one point I'll make here. Living in fear of someone does not mean that you have to be continuously looking for freedom. No. Living in fear, meaning there is some greater power. Life has made me the way I am right now. Okay? You may have decided, if you think that it is because of your decision that you came to birth, then live your merit or demerit points in this life. But if you believe that your birth is His will, your growth is His will, every breath is His will, every thought is His will, and when death happens of this body, that will also be His will. All the experiences that are taking place in your life is also His will. Now your attention is where? Your attention is on His will, isn't it? Not on your individual will. If you exercise individual will, ego. If your attention is on the divine will, ego dissolves. Once ego dissolves, then what happens? You will continue to be a mother. You will continue to be a grandmother. You will continue to be a citizen of this country. You will continue to drive the car. You will continue to stop at the red light because you realize you will not go through red light. I am indestructible. It will not happen. Then you start, you are immersed in the infinite. But as long as this body is there, because you didn't create it, He created it. He will make it go through whatever it has to go through. So sun god is doing a particular job. The sun is doing a particular job. He's keeping all the planets in place. But he knows the truth. He knows that infinite reality. Similarly, the mind, all the five senses and the organs of the body are doing their own function. What liver does, what pancreas do, what the gallbladder does, what the kidneys do, what the heart does, each one has its own function. Each one has its own function. Ego comes and disturbs them because of its desires. But when can they function completely, perfectly? Similarly, the senses also. Why are they functioning? Because there is a power behind, which is called mind. If mind is not there, the senses cannot function. When will the senses function perfectly? When the mind is it's directly proportional. If the mind is 50% perfect, the senses function 50%. If the mind is 100% in tune with the divine, the senses also will see divinity everywhere, experience divinity everywhere. Because it is the mind alone which is functioning through the five senses as the ability to see, hear, touch, feel, taste. If that mind behind is completely integrated and in tune with the divine, then that's the experience that is going to happen through the five senses. Think. Because the mind has come to realize, the eyes don't say, now I can see, hear, touch, feel. No, it will continue to only see. Ears will continue to only hear. See? So here it is told that the seeker, just like the various, just like the fire, the sun, the god of death, and the air, cosmic air, etc., they all function perfectly in their jurisdiction because of that great fear of the infinite reality. Similarly, when the seeker also recognizes this, that everything in him is functioning because of that infinite reality. So and by keeping that disposition, keeping that poise continuously, not sometimes, 24/7, 365 days a year, he is in poise. His mind is in tune with that reality. And where is he searching? Is he looking for a picture? No. Is he looking for some quality? No. Because he is that reality. He is that consciousness in essence. That's why it was told before, Kshurasya dhara. It's a double-edged sword. It's very fine. It's very fine discrimination is required. So he can, keeping that attention, keeping that poise, maintaining his attention on that infinite truth, in spite of everything going on, he can be free of the world while living in this world and attain to self-realization. Urvarukamiva bandhanat mrityor mukshiyamamritat. Just like, unlike other fruits, apples, mangoes, etc., which fall from a tree when they are ripe, a pumpkin sits in one place and becomes ripe. And the mother plant leaves the fruit. But our Pramila has a unique pumpkin which is hanging off a tree. She sent the photograph. It's hanging off the lemon tree. She wants to be realized. When it's about to fall, she will go under it. Ka-tang! Just like a lotus flower, it nourishes itself from the dirty waters, but is untouched by the dirty waters. We have to be like that in life. The scriptures, the talks, your practices, your attitudes, your focus, your contemplations, it's all part of the world. It's all happening in your mind. World is in your mind. World is mind. Thinking through while living, doing the seeking through your mind, but keeping the focus on the conscious self, on the eternal self, on the unchanging self. Be like a lotus in this world. Those who have come to be the lotus, they are called saints and sages. So here, and what is that? He has become free from all the do's and don'ts of the world. Yet he continues to function. As a sannyasi, as a monk, once I take the robes, we have done the last rites of this body. We have done the last rites. We will not wait for someone to come and burn or bury or drown, whatever this has. Wherever this body falls, let it fall. Which means I have got no axe to grind in this world. I have got no purpose to do anything in this world. Yet we function, isn't it? Yet we are teaching. Yet we live, get up in the morning at 5:30, do our practices. Why? It's the right thing to do. Sit for hours in contemplation. Why? His calling. Inspire others, but everything is, but that is the right thing to do. This is how the divine is prompting this particular equipment to function. Not our will. See? And if such a person, such a seeker, even a seeker, ignorant person is a gone case. But even a seeker, if he is not able to realize the truth while living, then what happens? And because he has not got the knowledge of the truth, is not abiding in the self or the truth, he comes to experience the different planes of experiences, existences. He goes through various wombs till he comes to know. You'll keep going from one womb to the other, one body to the other, one body to the other. There's no end to it. How do you go from one body to the other? Just like you drop the physical body and you go into your dream body. Then you drop the dream body and you go into no body. And then you drop the no body and again come back into physical body. Every day is it going on or not? Transmigration is happening or not? So it's not a far off concept, it's happening every day to you. Same thing will happen at a larger scale, at a subtle scale. From this next one, let's see. Why wait for the next body? Realize, be convinced of your true nature as consciousness. न चेद अशकत बोधुम ततः अनवबोधात् सर्गेषु सृज्यन्ते येषु स्रष्टव्याः प्राणिन इति सर्गाः पृथिव्यामादयोः लोकाः तेषु सर्गेषु लोकेषु शरीरत्वाय शरीरभावाय कल्पते समर्थो भवति शरीरं गृह्णातीत्यर्थः. So he keeps taking birth in those worlds where the imagination of creation and destruction is going on. The words that are used, I am telling you. So what is rebirth? If you have not come to realize, you are still attached to the world, meaning you are still attached to the body or the mind or the intellect, or the past or the future, or God as a form, then what will happen to you? You will keep taking birth in those worlds where birth and death is the norm. Now decide. You want to go through the birth pains again? Enough. You want to stay in the womb, in the dirty waters of the womb for 9 months again? No, enough. Do you want to go through the body with all the ailments again? Arey, don't remind me, yaar. You assess yourself. What is worthy of contemplation? Not all these stupid things. The truth. I'm looking truth there, truth. So then he takes, and which are these places, which are these planes of existences where birth and death is common? It is usually on the earthly plane. In godly plane, birth happens. Yeah, you can go there, and when your merit is over, you are thrown out of there and back to earth. So here it is said that like the planes, like earth, etc., where he attains another body and becomes capable with that body again. Excuse me. Capable of what? Capable of, be careful, be attentive. He becomes capable of, because of previous data, he becomes capable of identifying with the body all over again. A child is not identified with the body. But as he grows, the society, the parents, the environment makes him identified with the body. My body, my clothes, my shoes, my toys, my school. We push that child to say my. You ask the child, where is the nose? Invariably, every child will touch your nose. He will not touch his nose. For him, nose is a nose. And we stupidly say, no, no, not my nose, your nose. And you take his finger and you turn it around and you show it to him. He doesn't know that he has a nose. He's only seeing it because he has seen you. This is the nose, this is the eye, this is the forehead, this is the chin. So where is the nose? Tongue. Where is that lip? Then he doesn't know that it is on his face. See how we foolishly train our children. My. So, those who do not come to know the truth, they come to identify, they take birth in a body and then get identified with the body. That is their accomplishment. So, if you have in this birth got identified with the body and now are fully inspired to come to know that you are the infinite truth, God's blessings are there. You're on the right track. Don't get distracted. Finish the game today itself. No tomorrow. Therefore, before the body drops, which is equal to death for common man, so before the body drops, before the expiry date comes, before the body concludes its existence on this earth, here it says, Tasmat Sharira Visramsanat Prag Atma Bodhaya Yatra Astheyaha. So, before the conclusion of this body, come to realize, come to know the self, that you are of the nature of self, you are of the nature of all-knowingness, you are of the nature of continuous existence. You are conscious existence, meaning all-knowing existence. You're not this stupid, only I know my parents, I know. No, you are the master of this universe. You are the substratum, the essence of the whole creation. Creation is waking plus dream plus deep sleep. Manifest creation is waking and dream. Unmanifest creation is deep sleep and samadhi. You are the master of the four. Without you, these four cannot express. You know three, waking, dream and deep sleep. You do become a little bit focused, samadhi will also be experienced. But there's someone knowing all these four coming and going. Who's that fellow? That's the real one. Be curious about that fellow who knows all the four coming and going. Be inquisitive. Have the itch to know it. Not only know it, be it. Because in the end, as you come closer and closer to know it, then you realize, I'm only that, yeah. Yes, you are that. Tattvamasi. That's what the scriptures say. Iha ched ashakad bodhum praksharirasya visrasaha tatas sargeshu lokeshu sharirattvaya kalpate. So, we have seen this verse today. It's a continuation from the previous one where it was talked about everything in this universe is functioning because of the fear of that great reality. And here it is told, I have shown that within you also everything is functioning because of that one constant truth. If it is not there, all your senses, etc., cannot function. Mind, intellect, they cannot function. Past, present cannot function. Then, if that is the truth, that nothing can function without that life principle, that conscious principle, then what is worthy to be known? Here in this particular verse, it is told that that if you find yourself in a body, then before this body drops, falls dead, come to realize the truth. If you don't realize the truth, you will find yourself in another body and you will get identified with that body also. Our scriptures say the only purpose of human birth is to come to realize the truth here and now. The purpose of human birth is not to get married. Purpose of human birth is not to become rich or poor. Purpose of human birth is not to be to seek praise and become depressed with insults. Purpose of human birth is not to keep enjoying like a pig food, morning, afternoon, evening, and in between also everywhere, every time. That is not the purpose. Purpose of human birth is only one. Only one. And that is self-perfection. Come to realize yourself. Not self-perfection as a body. Self-perfection as the essence. That is self-realization. Within this body, while living, to recognize that I am the eternal conscious existence and there's nothing else apart from that. Everything else is my glory. So what is my glory? The waking is my glory, the dream is my glory, the sleep is my glory, the samadhi is my glory, the past is my glory, the future is my glory. Everything is, because nothing can exist without me. Sacrifice the world. Take the nourishment from the world. Be selfish a little bit. Take the nourishment for the world. Live in this world. You have to eat, food, drink, everything is good. But secretly develop this connection with the consciousness that you are. Don't tell anyone that you are doing it. Because the moment you tell them, they will pull you down. It's a secret.
Can you say that again, Swamiji?
Say that again.
What did you just say? Sorry.
I said, if you share that with someone, they will pull you down.
Makes sense. Thank you.
You have to keep it. The secret has to be kept together. We want to blurt it out. The moment you blurt it out, the energy gets dissipated. If at all you want to share it with people who are also on the journey, who are also non-judgmental, who are also always ready to not put you down, but to prompt you to move ahead with greater speed and clarity. With them you can share. But be very, very careful what you share with them.
Yeah, thank you.
Be very, very careful. Initial stages. Afterwards, who cares? Because how can you, we want to be we don't want to be afraid of the people, we don't want to be afraid of the world, we don't want to be afraid of the five space, air, fire, water, earth. We are the master. How can we be afraid? This is only in the initial stages. When we come to the Upanishads, there is no question of fear, because the student who has come to the Upanishads, he is fearless. He has already worked out that there are no answers in this world. There's nothing to pursue in this world other than the truth. This is the highest of knowledge that we are studying right now. Not with a salad plate on the side. Highest knowledge. There's nothing greater than this. There's nothing greater other than knowing the self. We'll look at the 5th verse in our next class, next Wednesday, and tomorrow the class is in Samida's place. So we will meet. I will send the address, and you can, if you want to come, you can come in the evening. 7:30 we start the class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Just sit quietly for a moment. Hari Om. All the best.
Thank you.